you've been playing really well. The same could be said, frankly, for most guys in your defense in your linebacker group. Was there a point this season where you were not personally totally happy with how you were playing, and do you feel like you've elevated your play last few weeks?
I mean, yeah, just early in the year we wasn't winning, so if we're not winning. I don't care how good I play or how many plays I make. We're not winning. It doesn't matter. So uh, it was definitely just a rough few games I had early in the year, but now that we're winning, we're back on track. Everybody's happy. Everybody's jolly. So we got to keep that going and stick to what we've been doing.
You're good at evaluating your own game. Where do you think you needed to be better than you were personally early on? What's been the focus for you personally? Was it coverage? Was it against the run? Was it something else? Because I know you're asked a lot to do.
Yeah, it was a little bit of everything. When it was the run fits, I was doing it, but I wasn't being too physical. It was covering. I was covering, but I wasn't finishing well. I was dropping into coverage, but my brace wasn't good. Those little things that you take for granted. Those little things that I was noticing. I wasn't doing well, and just recently, they've been having me do a lot of different things, and it's been cool. It's been definitely been cool, and to see we've been winning, it's even better. So I'm definitely happy.
You have kind of been a coverage specialist most of your career, even though you're a pretty good blitzer. I always feel like they never blitz you enough. But do you think that they're adding more? They've added more to your plate now recently than they've been this your career?
What you talking about coverage?
No,
Just
everything.
everything.
They're asking you to do
I wouldn't say that. It's a little bit different. I wouldn't say it's more. I've been playing on the line a little bit more. Uh, I've been rushing the pass in different ways, but I wouldn't say it was anything more. That's why I'm here. I can do a lot of different things. So as far as adding anything on my plate, I've been part of teams where you actually do everything and you're getting killed every week. So I wouldn't say it's anything more, anything less. It's the same thing. They expect me to wherever they put me, they expect good things out of it. So that's the approach I take.
with the edge work, which is new for you. Uh, what are the challenges that come with it?
That's funny because it's different. It is truly different. Like linebacker, you have a little time to think and react to things. On the edge, when you're down the D line, you have about a second, maybe a second before 300 pounds is on you real fast. So, but at the end of the day, it's a little easier because you're not thinking as much. If you're asked to rush, it's either you're rushing because it's a pass or you're setting the edge. So, it has its pros and its cons, but I think the cool thing is that I can pretty much do. I can be on the edge one play, and the next play I'm playing, inside linebacker. So, I really take that to heart, and I really appreciate that. So, I'm out there having fun, and just to see the guys' faces I line up against them inside, they be, oh, you're here. Then next play, I'm literally outside of you. All right, next play, I'm blitzing. Just that whole what I can do, and the things they ask me here. It's just fun to play in this defense.
So what's it like now to have quarterbacks not identify you as the Mike?
It is very fun. Uh, I think for me, it's like I love to hear that Mike 55, but now that it's somebody else, I have a better idea of like, all right, they're kind of he's out there, but they're really not paying attention. But it's definitely fun. I truly love our guys. Outside linebackers, Gink, he always get me right. All those guys, Beagle, just to see him back and him bring that energy. I definitely just love being out there.
Did you and Josh over the last few weeks, or you, Josh, and Anthony, ever get together and have a discussion about ways to utilize you more or differently? Were you part of those discussions, or did Boyer and Campanelli just tell you, here's how it's going to be this week?
Yeah, so me and Kent, we had a conversation earlier this year, and he pretty much asked me, what could we do better? How can we practice better? How can we do anything better? And I just gave my, input on it. Um, and Josh, he's one of those guys that if he say 55, do this, he expects it to be this way and be right on point. And just to have that trust from your coordinator, it definitely means a lot to me. So we definitely have conversations, but the main conversation is just to get better, and that's what I truly appreciate. We went through our bumps and bruises, and um, we never put our heads down. It was always just come back to work and let's get it fixed and keep going at it. And now that we're winning, it definitely is paying off for us.
What What was your reaction when they first said to you that week of the Ravens practice that, hey, Jerome, we want you to be the edge?
Why? That was the first thing. Why? And it wasn't like why in the sense of I was trying to, uh, I was upset that they were changing my position. It was like, what exactly are you asking me so I can play it how you want me to play it? And Flo, he pulled me aside and he explained it to me. You're athletic and you can do, things that other guys can't do. You can do the zone read. You can stop him from getting the ball, but also get back on the play. And just to hear that, it meant a lot. And when I ask why, it's never just because I want to play this position, I want to play that position. It's just what exactly you need me to do so I can do it to my best ability. And that was definitely my first question: why am I out here? But it definitely worked out.
So they said to you in a meeting, or they said to you on the field?
It wasn't in the meeting. It was kind of like after the meeting. I looked and I'm looking at him like, all right, I'm not inside at all. And I remember I asked E-Rob like, damn, I'm on the edge a lot. And he was like, yeah, you are. So I said something to Flo or something, and he was like, he just explained to me, this is why we need you here, and it definitely worked out for us.
Jerome, it seems like Flo got here, you guys have a tendency to just really start to hit your stride in November and December, and that's kind of the hallmark of a good team. What do you think, like, is there something that's said? What clicks during the middle of the season where you guys are able to kind of put it all together and be on the winning streak that we're seeing you guys be on now?
I wouldn't say it was one thing or the other. I wouldn't say it was a moment. It was more of we understood how to win. And for that, we kept hearing what we were doing wrong, and we really took that and learned as far as, penalties is going to set us back. We do certain things well, we do certain things not as well, and we saw that, and we try to avoid those things we did wrong. I mean, it sounds simple, but football is simple, but it's a complex game. So as far as penalties, those mistakes that you can really avoid, we truly locked in on those, and we try to eliminate those. And guys been stepping up and making plays, and things are going our way. But at the end of the day, we just learned how to win. That was the main thing. We finally learned how to win, and we wasn't focused on trying to beat ourselves. It was actually playing our game and doing what we do best, and that's just lining up and being physical and fast and playing together. So it's definitely working.
As a player or as a team, is it kind of tougher to trust the process when it's like you think you might have that incremental process, but the end result is still the same? Might be losing games, but you see that you're improving in other ways. Is it kind of tough to trust the process?
I mean, yeah, it's human nature. You keep losing. It's hard to say we're gonna just turn it around. We just keep losing and losing, but that's what you have leaders for. Guys that's been here when we were, I don't know, whatever record we were 0-7 at the beginning, or 0-6, whatever, the 2019 year. We just kept losing, and we were close. We kept saying it. We were close, and just because we lost a few games, it could be worse. That was the main thing. It could be worse, and we knew that we were a good team. We knew we could turn it around. We just had to fix a few things and just stop beating ourselves, and just to see now that we're a young team, and guys see that you keep putting in the work, things are going to change. That's not just going to help us for this year, but it's going to help us for years to come. So, I'm definitely glad that we turned things around, but we still have a long way to go.
Hey, you had Flores Graham at one point, right?
Yeah.
And so now, the last 2 years, it's been Flores Boyer. Is it virtually identical, or is there anything a little different?
As far as like on the field, it's nothing major. Personality-wise, they have a different personality, but I think the main core thing is, they're all aggressive. They want to play aggressive games. They want to, blitz on our terms. They want to do things on our terms, and as a defensive player, that definitely helps, and you really appreciate that. So, all three of them, they're just aggressive coaches. They want to blitz. They want to call coverages on their terms. They want to get you in situations where it favors the defense, and just for you to understand as a player, you can see why stopping the run on first down is so important, or why getting off the field on third down is so important. They do a great job of understanding why we want to do things, and like I said earlier, why I asked why I'm on the edge. They explain it, and everything they explain why we need to drop at the sticks, why we need to work on our leverage, whatever it is. I think that's just credit to them. They're great coaches, and now I guess you can say it's paying off for us in these past few weeks. So we just got to keep it going.
I was going to ask you in the meeting you had with camp, besides asking for your input on things like how can we practice better, did he ask you how you felt you could best be used? Was that something that came up in terms of where you line up?
Yeah. So he asked, what do I like to do as far as coveraging or rushing the passer? I told him I like doing it all, and I don't want to be limited to just I'm a coverage linebacker or every time I'm in this gap I'm blitzing or things like that. I love that the place I'm in where every play you never know where I can be at, you never know what I can do, but I can do it all. So he definitely asked me, and it's definitely working out for us.
Yeah, what's funny is I think there's a perception that's like a dictatorship, probably with most teams, but also with teams that have Patriots people in their coaching hierarchy. Obviously, what the coaches say goes, but it's interesting that they do ask for feedback. Do you
Yeah.
think that happens with others, or you think you're the only one?
I mean, honestly, if you don't listen to your players, it's going to be pretty hard to play well in this league because at the end of the day, we're the guys on the field. We're doing it. You can draw up different plays, you can draw up different schemes, but if your players don't respond well to it, those plays and schemes are useless. So, this organization they do a great job of taking care of us physically, making sure that we understand why we're doing certain things. They're just great a coaching staff as far as they truly make sure you're in the right position, you're in the best position that you can play in, and it's just a credit to them. They do a great job doing that, and it was rough these early in the year, but it turned around, and now we just have to just keep going and just keep stacking wins, honestly. So just a credit to them.